capturing.
Are you spreading it across the state now?
Oh, that is the intention. If we say we want to consolidate on the gains of security, then we must say that, look, all local governments in the state should be part of this occasion.
When there's, we just, before you came, we were talking about power.
Yes.
How are you powering the CCTV, or they are running solo?
Yeah, but the thing is, when we say we have a dependable crime-fighting apparatus and closed-cycle cameras, we are saying, look, you can't have a power failure in those engines. That one we don't compromise. Because I said in the intro of this discourse that it is security that determines the existence of the substructure of society. So if you want the functionality of a society, make the right investment in security. So you can't have a system where there will be a shortfall in the capture of our CCTV cameras.
We do hope you give us an opportunity to see how these things operate. But let's look at the other thing about infrastructure. What exactly are you looking at to do in the next 4 years in terms of infrastructure?
Yeah, it is true that most of our big-ticket jobs like roads, schools, bridges, etc., some have been completed and they are under usage now. A couple of them, big-ticket jobs, we're taking them to 80%, some even up to 90%. And that's why the people of Bayelsa are saying that, look, we know the gains inherent in these projects, and therefore we have to ensure we complete them. But I want to mention this very important. If we think that we're going to introduce many new jobs, it's not going to be possible, because we're going to act responsibly as a government so that we don't pursue bogus programs that will not be realized. And that's what we're saying. The schools, first, let me mention the airports. The airport, because we are looking at unemployment as a very serious problem in this country. And we have an airport, a cargo passenger airport, that has been driven to about 75 to 80% completion. Come the middle of next year, between the second quarter of next year, the first flights will be landing in Bayelsa State. That tells the story of how the government is committed to ensure that we'll complete that project along the bridges. And note, when we complete that project, the target is that we're going to have between 35 to 40,000 employment opportunities. And that tells the story of the need to drive the process. And let me mention on that, because time may be running out. One thing that is very important is the intention of this government to create a new middle class. How do you want to create a new middle class in Bayelsa State? That led to the introduction of what we'll have as Izombe Microfinance Bank. What does it do? Are you a young Bayelsan who is skilled in scaffolding, pipe fitting, fabrication or welding, farming, etc., what ICT? What you need to do is just go open an account there. There are business experts and managers who will talk with you, and you get a soft loan that will run for a period of years before you start paying. But all of this is because we want to ensure that you become self-employed and employer of labor. And wait a minute, if you want to drive this process of creating a new middle class in Bayelsa State, what about the area of power and energy? That that's why this government started what we call Operation Light Up Bayelsa State. There isn't any constituency, note, I did not say local government. There isn't a constituency in Bayelsa State that they don't have sub-power stations that are already 90%, some of them 100% completed. And our turbine is already ready. We are going to marry between our self-provided power source, which is the turbine, and then marry it together with the national grid. And we're saying what we want to do is to ensure that when you have these grants as a part of driving the process of creating a new middle class, power generation will not be a problem. These are very reasonable things we think we want to do, and they are achievable. We can realize all of that. When you talk about another area that is very critical is medical and health service delivery. Bayelsa State, before the coming of Harris Racket Dixon, was run.
Let me just take you. Let me just rewind a little bit. You just spoke about power just now. Are you saying that the power that you intend to use for all these things is not going to come from the national grid?
It's a two-way. I just mentioned that if you marry power generated from national grid and the one that we're going to provide as a state in terms of our turbines. You know, Bayelsa State has the highest deposit of gas in this country. And so our turbine is not going to have a problem. And so when you marry the two together, we're going to have a dependable
highest deposit of gas. How are you going to mine the gas?
It's another very important question, because as part of driving the economic frontiers of the state, the Bayelsa State government has entered into very serious MOUs, and like I said too, the gestation period has come to stay. And what we are going to have in the next 4 years is massive investment in the gas sector, because companies, investors are coming, plummeting on Bayelsa State, to open up the state, to tap in and key in into this high deposit of gas. So the gas is going to be part of the industrialization of Bayelsa State, and again, it is also a source of power generation and, importantly, job opportunities for all our kids and wards.
When are you hoping that this power thing will come into play?
Yeah, this is 2016, and I have no doubt in my mind that between now and the second quarter of this year, that project is going to become. What is even delaying the project
Second
from
quarter
this?
starts next month.
Yeah, I understand. No, this we're just talking about the first quarter. I said before the second quarter of of this year, before the second quarter.
Second quarter starts next month.
Oh no, this month is what?
February.
This is February.
Quarter starts April.
Yeah.
6 weeks.
No, when you say next month will March. So
6 weeks. 6
okay,
weeks.
so certainly not next
6
month.
weeks from
Yes,
now.
but importantly, what is most
We're
important
expecting
is
it
that
to start.
the turbine is ready. The substations are going to be completed in the next any moment from now. And then what is delaying, like I said, is that the governor has give directives quite some time ago, and I think it's been followed suit by action to ensure that, look, electrification proper, draw the lines, put the poles, connect the city-states of Nembe towards the brass axis, the Sagwama axis, Southern Niger axis, the Ogbe axis, the Keremo axis. This story is a story of a government that is targeting the rural population. And that's why this government, for this government to thrive in all that we intend to do, has been given the mandate by the people, is that we as a people must understand the times we are in. The intentment of this government is to drive the process of the rural development of the state. Therefore, all persons, irrespective of colors and political calculations, must understand giving support, the requisite support to this government, is what is going to make us achieve the best. And only the best is good for Bayelsa State. Anything less certainly is not Bayelsa State.
Mr. Evarada, the picture you painted is a picture of
Paradise.
paradise in Bayelsa.
No, it is not a utopian picture painted. Ended by saying, but it requires some level of discipline. And the reality is that the times aren't easy as a
Discipline
country.
on what part?
Discipline,
on
like
what part?
I've maintained two words here in the course of our talk here: transparency and frugality. When you have a government that talks about transparency and frugality, strengthening of institutions, then the government is saying we are ready to go. And we are not saying it. The world over, anyone, including Chinese, if you've done business with Bayelsa State before, you'll understand it's not business as usual, because the T's and the I's, someone said here on set a couple of minutes ago, that what makes, a balanced reportage is about the processes. It's the processes. In Bayelsa, everything is procedural, and it's not an imposition by the governor. Processes are a creation of administrative law, and that's what is on ground, and everyone adheres to that. If you don't, then you're not doing business in Bayelsa State. And that's why we're saying, while we express that level of frugality and discipline and transparency, you out there, whether you're a Bayelsa or someone coming to do business, you understand the discipline in Bayelsa State that there is no space for fraud, no space for pilfering of public money. Everything is intended to drive the process of change in Bayelsa State. But the recession we are in does not allow us to do things that are extraordinary. After all, we are common people, led by the chief commoner, who is the governor of the state. Therefore, everything we do must be targeting a population who are the rural people. That heralds why they came out in their numbers to dare everything to say, this is our governor. We will hold you high at all times. Even if the guns and the barrel dance towards our head, we will say, let them go with us, because we are ordinary people led by an ordinary man. They gave him the votes. What else will the governor do than to ensure that he keeps to the word of promise, take his word to the bank, and he will have a state that is strong, that is decisive, and dependable by the Nigerian state. And indeed, all Nigerians should be proud of this state called Bayelsa, led by a governor that is an ordinary citizen, leading the chiefs of the people.
Should I say applause?
Yes, indeed.
Well, all I can say is that all of this speaks of a vision, it speaks of hope, and hope is what keeps the human being alive. We can hope for a better tomorrow from all these things that you have said. So we're hoping to see a better Bayelsa, and I hope that very soon we will have a chance to go and see all these things come to fruition.
And hopefully in the next 6 months to 1 year, you'll be back here to give an account also.
I think it would be a bit too
paradise
long.
in Nigeria.
First, you talked about the security gadgets that are enabling the peace and tranquility in Bayelsa State. Do have a time out and come to Bayelsa and cover the security network in Bayelsa. I'm inviting Shanice to come. And what you see will shock you. There is no state in this country that has that. Just like the state of the art we have in terms of deliveries in Medicare and Medicaid, which is going to be commissioned any day from now. There is no state that shall link them. What you see, show it on Shanice. Let the world see that a state like Bayelsa has made this massive investment in the service delivery in the area of Medicare and Medicaid. This is the story. Everything we say under the watch of Governor Henry Slackett Dixon is verifiable. It is there, but most importantly, the target is the ordinary man.
Mr. Evarada, my hope is just that you promo these things and you make a lot of noise about it so that all those who are going on medical tourism will now medical tour to Bayelsa as opposed to medical touring to,
You're
India.
a very good ambassador of Bayelsa State. And I think I will try and lend a voice of support to my governor. Lend a voice of support to my governor, telling His Excellency the Governor, we do have a very wonderful ambassador in Shanes who is going to lend a voice of credence to the wonderful things we do. Because as a Bayelsan, under what we have today, in the next couple of years in Bayelsa State, if you have the challenge of dialysis, if you have problems of... You are smiling. You don't want me to go far.
Mr. Don Evarada, Special Advisor to the
You didn't say High
Bayelsa State. I do apologize.
Thank you. I accept
High
it.
Chief
Beautiful.
Don Evarada, Special Advisor to the Bayelsa State Governor. A worthy ambassador indeed. He didn't let us get in any words in edgeways.
No.
Thank you very much for coming this morning.
It's always my pleasure, but I wouldn't leave without saying that by tomorrow, the bells of time are ringing. The waters of time are waters of love. And the governor will not only be inaugurated, the ordinary people of the state will be celebrating. The world over and all lovers of democracy will be promoting on Bayelsa State. Governors, former president, leaders across the globe are coming to say, this is the man. This is the first victory under President Muhammadu Buhari of an opposition. This is the first time, indeed, elections were conducted under the real watch of the world that they said, this is the fairest, freest election. What you see today, beautiful women in Bayelsa State, wonderful youth, and significantly, the cuisines of Bayelsa State, our rich cultural heritage will be at stake.
Thank you.
Be happy,
High Chief.
come to Bayelsa Shanes TV, come get a feel of it, and tell the story the way you saw it. It's my pleasure being here.
Thank you. High Chief Don Evarada, a Special Advisor to the Bayelsa State Governor. I said that before.
Yes, you did.
And I'm forced to say it again.
Again.
Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
Sunrise will be right back with another interesting conversation. See you in just a moment.